but I'm going to do this video anyway. So as you can see from the title, we're talking about Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Canelo versus Caleb Plant. Those two fights are very interesting fights. Let's start with Ramirez versus Taylor. As we all know, Taylor has comprehensively beaten Jose Ramirez, okay? I think I gave Jose Ramirez 2 rounds. I don't know what the judges' scorecards. I don't know what the judges were seeing. They say that basically they're saying that fight was a tie, were it not for the 2 knockdowns. I don't see that. Okay, I don't know what those judges were thinking, but I never saw that. Let me turn on the light here so you guys can see me. But I was actually near a charger, and I was actually gonna go to sleep. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about this. So let me turn on the lights here. Here you go. And we're going to talk about it, right? Release the Snyder Cut, baby. Restore the Snyderverse now. That's what we're about. But anyway, I'm going to talk about that. If you guys have seen Army of the Dead on Netflix, it's dope, man. I highly recommend you guys check it out, all right? Army of the Dead on Netflix. Okay, let's talk some boxing. I'm going to sit down right here. Chill out with you guys and talk a little bit of boxing. It's like what? It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, right? All right, so let's talk. So Josh Taylor comprehensively beat Jose Ramirez in my book. I gave Jose Ramirez probably two rounds at most. I believe he did well in, I think it was round number 5. He did okay. And round number 3, he did well. Taylor dropped him in the 6th, and then he dropped him in the 7th. And Ramirez really wasn't in the fight after that. Kind of more defensive. Taylor was actually advancing on him, walking him down. So Taylor beat Ramirez. Now, I want to say that congratulations to Josh Taylor on becoming undisputed super lightweight world champion. Very few have gotten all 4 belts. These amounts to names like Terrence Crawford. Very versatile boxer. He can box on the outside. He can box on the inside. He can box at mid-range. He can box going backwards. He can box off the ropes. He can box going forwards. He can box in center of the ring. He can push you back. You know, it's got nice angles. It's inside work. See, a lot of people talk about inside fighters, but you see, inside fighting involves a number of factors. One of the factors you got to know how to do in inside fighting is clinching. You have to also know how to tie up. So there's clinching and tying up. You have to know how to find your body positioning. And Taylor's really good at that. So coming out of the clinch, he was able to pop Jose Ramirez in around 7 with that left uppercut. You know, you got to protect yourself at all times. And he really hurt him pretty bad because Ramirez never really was back in the fight after that. Josh Taylor took over the fight and was just completely dictating to Ramirez, using feints and so many other things. Yeah, but Taylor's in a whole other category of fighter to Jose Ramirez. Regis Prograis is on the level of a Josh Taylor. You know, Taylor and Prograis, they're on the same level. But, I mean, Jose Ramirez, he tried his best. He was using feints, too, to come in. I was hearing people say Timothy Bradley again. Just, I don't know what was wrong with Timothy Bradley. Talking about Ramirez ain't using feints to go in. Of course he's using feints to go in. But what Taylor was doing to offset that, and why he was dictating, was because he was using his probing jab. He had a jab in his face. So when Ramirez tried to advance, or even feint in an advancement, Taylor got that jab in his face. He got that, he's occupying him. And that's what you see. I don't even understand why Timothy Bradley can't see these things, but whatever. That's what's going on there. Timothy Bradley spoke about how he thinks a Caleb Plant will be stopped by Canelo. And he says either the lead right hand Canelo will land on him, or the left hook that will stop him. Hey, what's up, man? Raw 2013. He said, what's up, my bro? So I was right? Taylor won the fight. Easy peasy. Easy peasy Japanesey, or easy peasy something squeezy. What I gotta say to you guys is that boxing is a sport that that you got to know. You just got to know. You know, everything I talk about in boxing, lemon squeezy. Oh, you watched it. You watched. You watched Army of the Dead. Lemon squeezy. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the same. Easy peasy Japanesey. Yeah, Army of the Dead, man. Army of the Dead was good, man. It's highly entertaining. If you guys got Netflix, you should check it out. You just finished watching it. Cool, man. Cool, cool, cool. I enjoyed it, man. It was great. Yeah, so basically, let me just sort this thing out here. It's very very late in the night, but your boy gotta keep working, so I was working through the night here. Uh, yeah. So I want to talk about and anything you want to talk about Raw 2013. We could talk about it. You know what I mean? Let's start that out. Yeah, man. Just coming out of the dark here, so I'll be back into the light here. Maybe I turn on this light too. Turn on both lights. Oops. Yeah. So hey, let's go into the boxing. Hey, I turned it. Oh, I didn't turn it on. I turn it on. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's much better, right? It's better lit room. Okay, so I'm in the living room here. We're washing clothes on the other side. I bumped my toe. And my toe is like really hurting me. I got a sheet on the ground. Sometimes I actually lie down on the ground, sit on the ground, sleep on the ground instead of sleep on a bed. It's weird. I'm gonna explain to you guys again. For those of you who don't know, at one point in time I was actually homeless, and I learned to sleep on the ground. The ground's very solid, very sturdy. A bed, sometimes you sleep on a bed and the bed sort of sags in with you. You know what I mean? It's like your body weight kind of sinks the bed in, and it's kind of tough. So sometimes I'm like scrap the bed and everything and just sleep on the ground. The ground's so solid. So for almost a month now, I've been sleeping on the ground. It's weird. Some people will be like, "What?" Like, yeah. But since the ground's kind of cold, sometimes I have to kind of pad up the ground before I put, because it's kind of cold at this time of the year. It's raining a lot, and we're quarantined. We're not quarantined, but we like on kind of lockdown in my country right now. There's a curfew. Like nobody's supposed to be out after 9 p.m. and then 6 in the morning. Nobody's supposed to be on the roads and stuff. And it's really a lockdown here because the virus started spreading and the hospitals are like full to the brim. So it is what it is. I want to talk about Canelo versus Caleb Plant. You guys can also talk and give your thoughts on Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez. I told you guys Josh Taylor was going to win, and I explained why. And basically worked out the way that I said, I explained. So that is nothing new. But I wanted to talk a little bit about a fight that possibly could happen, which is Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez. Now, Timothy Bradley said Caleb Plant would get stopped. XX Raw 2013 said, I didn't watch the fight, so I'm just listening. Okay, cool. Well, basically, Josh Taylor put down Jose Ramirez twice. Put him down in the 6th and the 7th round. Josh Taylor was controlling the fight from round 1. Jose Ramirez did land a couple body shots in the early rounds, but he got round number 5 and round number 3. I thought was his solid rounds. I thought that the rest of the rounds Taylor kept on controlling the fight because he was dictating via his jab, even though he's a southpaw. And Ramirez was following him around a lot, and then Taylor just took over. Like in the 7th round, Taylor started walking him down. Taylor was doing whatever he wanted to do. He was walking him down sometimes, letting him walk him down. I mean, sometimes he just slide to the inside and work him on the inside a little bit. So Taylor did whatever he wanted to do basically in that fight and dominated Jose Ramirez. Now the scorecard said that it was a close fight, like it was a draw or something, and because of the two knockdowns, Taylor got the decision, which is 114-112. That's how they had it. And I was like, that ain't making no damn sense. They saying it's competitive. It wasn't competitive after the seventh round. I'll be honest with you guys. Ramirez was trying to do something, but he wasn't really doing much of anything. Earlier on, it was much more competitive. Um, so that's Taylor versus Ramirez, and it is what it is. Now, going to what I want to talk to you guys about, Canelo versus Caleb Plant. So I'm listening to Timothy Bradley, and I've seen several other people think that Canelo's just going to walk through Caleb Plant and knock him out, right? That's what Timothy Bradley's saying. And I'm going to share my thoughts on it, and I'm telling y'all why that ain't happening, right? Canelo's, first of all, he's not going to knock out Caleb Plant. Second of all, Caleb Plant has the tools like Billy Joe Saunders, but much more sharper, much more refined tools to beat Canelo Alvarez. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. He has it. Now, he does not have the experience. Canelo has vast years of experience over these guys. He's even got more experience than Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade in terms of facing top-tier competition, the best in the world. He has that experience. At a very young age, he has that experience. BG KO 567. What's up, man? In the building, he says Plant can't punch. Once again, I do not know what you mean by that. Okay, hey, a lot of you guys, for some reason, think that it's all about punching power. I always tell people, all you got to do is keep a fighter honest. That's all you got to do, right? Many people make the argument that Mr. Mayweather, for example, I like to talk about Floyd, so forgive me. But Mr. Mayweather, they say, he can't punch. Remember, what's the guy's name? Something Bayless. I forgot what his name is. Skip Bayless, I think it was his name. Said Mayweather can't punch. Then why is it Pacquiao couldn't stop him? Right? I'm going to give you all another one. A lot of people say Andre Ward can't punch. But how did he stop Sergey Kovalev? I'm going to give you one more. They say Tyson Fury, even though he has a lot of knockouts, can't punch. But he stopped Deontay Wilder. How's that possible? He fought Deontay Wilder twice. Wilder couldn't stop him either time. Punching power is one thing. I'm going to give you all a secret about boxing, okay? Because I think a lot of people don't understand boxing. Let me tell you what's the most dangerous thing in boxing. It's not power. It's not speed. It's not strength. I'm going to tell you what's the most dangerous thing in boxing. And that's why I always say, if you're a good dancer, you're a good fighter. Timing. That's the killer. Timing. You could be the strongest guy in the world. If you ain't got the right timing, it really don't matter. You could be the weakest, because I do martial arts. Okay? You could be a teeny tiny little woman or a man. You ain't got a whole lot of power, but you got timing. You could take down a 6'3" guy if you got timing and placement. Listen to me carefully again. Timing and placement. That it makes the difference in boxing. So I'm tired. I get annoyed when I hear people say, "Oh, he ain't got no power." If he knows how to use timing, because let me tell you something. I'm going to explain something to you guys. How did Victor Postol knock out Lucas Matisse? Victor Postol ain't no big knockout. He ain't got no big knockout KO ratio. He ain't known as no big knockout artist. Timing and positioning your punches. the more accurate a puncher is, the more likely he is to hurt his opponent. And you don't have to stop your opponent to get him to respect your power. You understand? So it's not about whether a plant can or cannot punch. First of all, you got to understand that. It's about, does he know how to place his punches from certain angles? You hearing me? Because you guys got to listen. A lot of y'all guys just talk. In boxing, it's about getting a guy out of position or maneuvering yourself so you are in an advantageous position to hit and not get hit. It's about being elusive, but at the same time being able to attack. Okay? You want to be elusive, but you also want to attack. You want to be a difficult target, but you want to make sure you hit your target. That's how the game is played. This is boxing. This is not tough man contest. This is not how hard I can punch contest. Those are separate things. We're talking about boxing. You can move into a certain position in the ring, certain angles, by dipping your body, moving your feet. Okay? Throwing certain kinds of punches gives you certain kinds of angles, right? All those factors. I can tell you a boxer who was not a very powerful boxer, but they respected him. Okay? And he moved all the way through boxing, but he wasn't no knockout artist. Know who I want to talk about? That boxer was a very, very, very good boxer. And not just a good boxer, he was a good fighter too. Okay? But wasn't known for his great power. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. If you want to get very aggressive and nasty, but he ain't got no one-hitter quitter. He don't have one-hitter quitter, but he gets your attention. Was known as no knockout artist. Caleb Plant got that pop. I already realized that. He had the pop. Okay? He has it. He's no one-hitter quitter. But he has that power to keep people honest. And unlike Billy Joe Saunders, who also has power enough to keep people honest, unlike Billy Joe Saunders, he's not going to respect Canelo in round one. Billy Joe was respecting Canelo in round one. Billy Joe started coming into the fight in round three. He started to really start to catch himself and realize, I can handle this dude. And by round 5, he was doing his thing. Caleb Plant won't do that. He'll come in round 1 and try to dictate. So if anybody thinks it's going to be an easier fight for Canelo facing Caleb Plant, they're wrong. And Timothy Bradley's wrong as well. Canelo is not knocking out Caleb Plant. That is never going to happen. He couldn't knock out Callum Smith. He going to knock out Caleb Plant? Come on now. He knocked out Billy Joe Saunders because Billy Joe Saunders dipped into the line. Otherwise, he would have never knocked out Billy Joe Saunders. Let's just be real. Y'all feel Canelo's this monster, this one-hitter quitter kind of guy. He's not. All right? Now, would I pick him as a favorite to beat Caleb Plant? Absolutely. Absolutely. Canelo plays chess. He don't play checkers. So absolutely. But don't tell me he gonna knock out Caleb Plant because I don't buy that. I just can't buy it. Caleb Plant's too good a boxer. I see his defense is on point. And he's not going to respect Canelo like Billy Joe Saunders did. I said it was a 50-50 fight until I saw Billy Joe Saunders duck the face-off with Canelo. Then I knew the fight was over. I knew Canelo was going to beat Billy Joe Saunders. I didn't know if he was going to stop him, but I knew he was going to beat him. And I knew Billy Joe Saunders would take a beating. I was right. All right, let me talk to you guys because you guys be really talking. Okay, BJKO says Plant can't punch. That had nothing to do with it, bro. This is boxing. Be you once you got decent, respectable power, all right, you can't have broken hands like Paulie Malignaggi. And even then, Paulie Malignaggi's jab keeps people honest. He got a really good jab. That means he got sufficient enough power to keep guys honest. Okay. So once you got a good jab or power enough to keep guys honest, which most boxers have, then it's all about your boxing. And Canelo's good. Don't get me wrong. But but trust me, Caleb Plant is not what you think he is. He's not no walkover. In fact, I got him having a better chance of beating Canelo than David Benavidez. I said it. Because Caleb Plant is a disciplined fighter. David Benavidez has slipped. He's dropped the ball 2 times. That never happened with Caleb Plant. You're looking at an elite athlete, Caleb Plant. He's strong. He's skilled. He's a smart fighter. And he'll be able to display a lot of his skills against Canelo. I'm looking forward to it because that's a good fight. Anybody who says Canelo's just going to steamroll over Caleb Plant, they don't know Caleb Plant. You really don't. Caleb Plant will make it to the finish bell. And he's going to learn quite a lot by facing Canelo. So I'm looking forward to that fight. You know, and if Caleb Plant comes in with confidence, he's going to give Canelo a run for his money. Probably might do better than Danny Jacobs, even with the limited experience, because he has certain tools to offset Canelo's tools. Never mind. Canelo's still learning boxing as we speak, and he's way ahead of the curve when it comes to experience. But he can bring things to the table that make Canelo think, because a thinking fighter is different to a guy with tricks up his sleeve, just 1 or 2 tricks, or he's like a one-trick pony. The guys that can mix it up, change it up, adapt, those are the guys that are difficult to fight in boxing. It doesn't matter if they have knockout power or not. Some of them do. Okay? But it's their ability to adapt, to make adjustments. And Canelo's that dude, obviously. But what I'm saying is, it'll be an interesting chess match between those two. BJ KO562 says no timing on him. BJ KO562 says Mayweather had pop, but most importantly, he had the timing and speed to land and actually hurt Canelo. It was his timing. It was Mayweather's timing and his feints. His timing and his feints. You know, tonight I heard the ESPN commentary saying how, you know, Josh Taylor, you know, he's got more speed than Ramirez, and I'm like, God damn it, it's not the speed, it's the timing, and he's setting him up, and you guys just can't see it. Like, I never understood it. Like, people think it's always about speed. Speed's cool. Speed can kill, yes, but you have to be able to hit the target. That means you have to have timing. BJKO562 says, dog, you literally wrote what Vay's aid about timing before you said it. We know that, man. What I said. Raw 2013 says, when you're speaking about timing, a good example I like is the clip where Floyd drops Hatton with the check hook going back. If you watch Floyd's hands, he's timing Hatton. Yes, that is true. But that's a time, and he was actually trying to do that check hook a number of times, but he would either miss Hatton or you catch him in the wrong place. Timing and placement, yeah. Yeah, it was a matter of time, though. Yeah, before he throws the hook. I saw where his hand was, he's basically kind of feinting the hook with his hand, trying to time Hatton. Yep, saw it. BJKO says, Canelo ain't losing until someone has the balls to fight him. They're all outbox him, not you don't outbox a Canelo now. No, it's not. It's not just outboxing him. It's that you got to stand in front of him and fight him. Yes, within the pocket. You got to outdo him in the pocket. Yes. You can't just be moving around the ring all the time. You can mix it up though. You could decide to make him go around the ring, burn out some energy, but he probably won't go for that because he He conserves energy as well. BJKO says 562. Canelo's a tricky guy, as we all know. He's difficult, but there's certain things still that if he doesn't keep his composure, if you can mix it up a little bit on him, you can throw him off, and then he won't keep his composure, and he could run into traps that you set. So there's a way I still see to outplay Canelo. Yeah, there's still ways to beat him, but you have to be a smart fighter, and you have to mix it up. You can't come at him the same way. Otherwise, he'll read you and he'll make adjustments. He's like Floyd. All of Nelo's opponents are bigger than him now that they got to use their size and jab, long punch and stuff. Yeah. Canelo's phenomenal. Everybody knows he's pound for pound number one in the world right now. They want to squash pound for pound now. You see people trying to squash pound for pound right now. It's one of the dumbest things in the world because Canelo's on top, and they don't like that. Same hate that they give Floyd, they're giving Canelo right now. It's stupid, but it is what it is. Exactly. Everyone gives Canelo way too much respect. Yeah, you can't give him respect. If you're gonna go fight a guy, you can't give him respect. And you should have not studied him per se, but you should be working on your craft. BJKO 562 says no, he won't. You tripping. Plant is easier, guarantee. Fuck out of here. Caleb Plant is not easier than Billy Joe Saunders. I'm telling you, he's not. I tell you that straight up. He's not. And if Canelo comes in there with that attitude, he's gonna get his ass beat. But he won't. He stopped Billy, did not hook him out. Come on, dude. Didn't knock him out. Come on, dude. Well, the thing about it is he broke Billy Joe's eye socket. That ain't happening with Caleb Plant. He ain't breaking nothing when he goes up against Caleb Plant. You'll see. Because Caleb Plant can fight off the ropes. He can fight off the ropes. And smooth. And he also has a pretty good defense. So it's not going to be as easy. You're talking to yourself, man. You're stuck in still, dog. What's up with all of this trash talking? You don't trash talk me, bro. I'm just telling you the facts. Now, if you want to trash talk, you can always go somewhere else and trash talk. We serious about boxing up in here. You know what I'm saying? Stop the trash talking, man. That's a waste of time. You're right. Plant is a professional. That's true. Yeah, of course. And you haven't read one comment. No, I didn't read any comment for a minute, but I'm reading them now. Once again, what I'm saying to you guys once again, it's just simple. Don't feel a how about it. I'm telling you though, Caleb Plant is not easier work than Billy Joe Saunders, and y'all will see. He got a lot of promise. He got a lot of future. All these fighters got a lot of promise, including David Benavidez. They all got promise. And I say, give them all a shot, Canelo. Let Benavidez get his ass whooped too. I mean, everybody going to get their ass whooped. Give Charlo a chance. Give Demetrius Andrew a chance. Whoop their ass. I mean, that's what they want. They're begging for it, so might as well beat them. Beat them and move on. You know what I'm saying? Canelo got a lot of experience. That's the problem. He's got more experience than all those guys. And when I say experience, I'm not just talking any kind of experience. I'm talking the top level, top tier, the best in the world experience. None of those guys got that. Charlo has not faced a pound for pound fighter. He hasn't faced a pound for pound fighter. Neither does Demetrius Andre. Neither does Billy Joe Saunders. Neither has Caleb Plant. Neither has David Benavidez. None of them. And Canelo, he has faced a number of pound for pound fighters. In fact, he faced pound for pound fighters when they were pound for pound number one in the world when he faced them. I mean, that's a lot of experience, right? And boxing is a doing sport. So when we say experience, it means you've been in the ring with these people. You learned a lot from fighting them. So, I mean, it's it's kind of like a foregone conclusion. When it comes to experience, which is a very major key in boxing, he got it, and he's used it. He's working on different things because of that experience. So it's going to be very hard to beat Canelo. Doesn't mean that he can't be beaten. All right. Andre Ward would beat him. I think, let me tell you some people who definitively, I believe, would beat Canelo. Okay. So you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So Andre Ward would beat Canelo. If Canelo were to go up against Andre Ward would beat him. Mayweather would beat Canelo. Okay. Who is another special fighter that might beat Canelo? Special fighter. There is, but you see, he's not in the weight class, so I can't really say him. But I think possibly. But again, this is not a proven fighter, so I don't know. Terrence Crawford, if he was at super middleweight, would be a problem for Canelo. Because Crawford has some experience. He has some decent. He never faced no pound for pound fighter, but I'm just saying he has experience. Yeah. But see, Canelo keeps on working on his craft, so it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to beat him. We kind of all know this now. But that doesn't mean if you get the Canelo fight, doesn't mean you stay with that mindset of being off him. No. Well, Canelo can be beaten. And Billy Joe Saunders showed glimpses where he got Canelo off guard. Like I said before, round number 5 was a really good round for Billy Joe Saunders. The only good round, but nonetheless, it was a pretty good round for him. What do you need in the building, man? It was good hearing from you guys. It's good for hearing from BGKO562 and also from, what was this? Raw 2013, man. It's good that you guys came into the building. You know what I'm saying? Anything else you guys might want to say? You might want to say now before I get out of here? Smash the like button with you people. Thank you so very much. You're so kind. Yes. So that's it for me. I'm what you need. I thought I would talk about these fights this morning. I'm gonna catch you guys later on in the day when we can go into more detail about the fights and what the guys did, their game plans, etc. But as you can see, it seems as though I'm sleepy now. So I'm gonna bid you guys a good night. Don't forget to smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.